Over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Chris. I would like to start by wishing you a happy Lantern Festival. It's going to be tomorrow, and happy Year of Dragon. And it's also a special year for the Chinese collection Bodleian this year. It was 420 years ago that Thomas Bodley bought the first Chinese book, and that's 1604. And in Chinese tradition and Chinese calendar, 60 years is a cycle like a century. So it was the dragon year when Thomas Bodley bought that book. The dragon is most auspicious of the 12 zodiacs. And so this is a special year which happens every 60 years. So we're celebrating 420th year, which is also 760-year cycle. And I think it was an auspicious year when Thomas Bodley bought that Chinese book. We went from a hidden dragon to now I think we're flying dragon, and hopefully we keep us flying in future. And also, just want to explain what we're going to show you today. I'm going to show you some of the Chinese scrolls. The Chinese scrolls are mainly paintings, calligraphy, and religious objects, as well as dedications and famous quotes or poetry that people hang in their houses. They have two formats, mostly. There is one vertical format, and other one is horizontal format. The vertical format is hung on the walls. The horizontal format is rolled up and kept in a shelf so that people can enjoy when they need to. So we're going to show you all these hand scrolls, or what we call hanging scrolls or hand scrolls. So these are mostly all hand scrolls. The Chinese scrolls in Bodleian, and we have about 170 these scrolls, which is a pretty impressive number. And as you can see, there are some of them very, very pretty and impressive. They acquired from kind of second half of 19th century, and there's we can trace back some of the items when it was acquired, and we know that this particular item was displayed in the upper gallery in Old Library in 1867. That was recorded in the library records. And then we have the Backhouse, the famous Backhouse. He donated about 2/3 of our scrolls, of the 170, and some of them have notes of arrival was in 1914. And some of them are very spectacular, and if they are original, they will be the most valuable things, perhaps in the Chinese collection. Not just Chinese collection, but probably in the whole of Bodleian. And they have been seen, I was told, by multiple experts, curators, but nothing has been written down about them. There is a reason for it, and the reason was that we can't trace their origins or can be sure about their authenticity. So that's the kind of the question that we still struggle today, but we are being brave and we try to write down things about them so people could see our challenges. In 2023, we have got wonderful Boya to help us to catalog these items for us, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about each individual items. But I just want to update you about their status. We are not only cataloging them, but we have all digitized them. They're about to be mounted on the digital body, and there are some of them already gone up. But it will be a spectacular that we have all 170 scrolls on digital body. And there's nice catalogs by Boya in explaining what they are. And I will at this point, I just want to thank the studio colleagues and who've been trying to film this. It's very difficult items to film or photograph. and also the digital Bodleian team, and trying to make it more accessible, and kind of it appears in a different way to normal books or normal images. So at this point, I will pass you on to Boya to explain the items.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming, and I'll start from this little book. It's actually called 20 Songs of Fishermen and Woodcutters, composed by Emperor Qianlong, who known as the emperor who reigned for the second longest in Chinese history. And on the 60 years of his rule, he retired as Emperor Emeritus because he didn't want to exceed the year of his grandfather, Kangxi Emperor. And he is writing the songs of woodcutter and fisherman with the imagination of he governing of his empire as the way that the fisherman attend his ponds and the woodcutters who to his forest. And his enthusiasm of poem writing is so famous in Chinese history because his work of 40,000 is usually compared to that of complete tongue poetry, 全唐诗. It's like 2,200 writers only have like a collection of 49,000 poems. However, he himself had like 40,000. And you can imagine the quality. But I would say no means of offense to the emperor and his family, but anyway, it's very beautifully written by his scholar minister called Liu Lun, who is known for his beautiful calligraphy and very favored by the emperor. And the cover is super beautiful. It's from white nephrite and from Khotan area in Xinjiang. And then it comes to scrolls. These two scrolls, we don't have much record of who bring them to our library, but we know that it's probably reached here in around mid-19th century. And this one, although it carries a little seal on that corner, but it's not visible here, it's not spread it that far, it's been painted by Qing, but we really doubt the authenticity. It's more possible that it's by a workshop during late Ming or early Qing dynasty, because the theme of the painting is called Along Riverside during Qing Festival. It's originally painted by a painter called Zhang Nai Qi in 10th century, and it becomes so famous in China that generations of painters pay homage to the theme, and that's how it's probably produced. And that one shows the scene of a traditional Chinese wedding with especially the theme of escorting the bride to the home of bridegroom. And we don't know who painted it, but from the lantern of the architecture for both families, we know it's probably, painted for the wedding of a 5th rank official's family. And from the hairstyle of men and women appearing in this painting, it's likely to be painted between mid-17th century to early 18th century. And then we come to these two scrolls of birds and insects, and they are donated by Backhouse. And this one is by Zhang Yu. It's painted earlier for 1799. But that one is slightly later, by 1822. And on closer examination, you may find the similarity in the way of their style of painting and their techniques. And it's not a coincidence, because Zhang Yu is the uncle of Zhang Nai Qi, and Zhang Nai Qi is the best student of Zhang Yu. So, and we still cannot confirm of their authenticity, because while the two painters were still alive, they become very famous, and replicas already exist in the market. And those two painters can do nothing about it, and they can only say that, well, you can imitate our style, but you can't really imitate our spirit inside of the painting. Who knows? And then it comes to the last of our item. This is the an album of 12 Chinese paintings, and 12 is a customary number for Chinese painting albums. Usually comes with 12. So I doubt if anything come like 11 or 9, is it one or few pieces missing or something? And it's likely to be painted by the painter called Qiangu, as shown in the 12th last painting. And Qiangu said he painted this painting to pay homage to the style of Song Dynasty painters. And if this is authentic, then it's probably been painted in the year of 1568, the second year of Qing reign in Ming Dynasty. And Qiangu himself is a famous Ming Dynasty painter who used to work in the workshop of famous painter Wen Zhengming. So this is, yeah, everything. Thank you.